Hi, I'm Duncan Moss, and I want to talk a little today about what I call a power brand. So, what the heck is a power brand, and why do you need one? Well, as you may know, there are a lot of websites out there. Right now, I think, in fact, there's over 1 billion websites online. And according to Forbes magazine, 30,000 websites get hacked every day. You don't want to be one of them, I'm sure. So, in addition to the possibility of being hacked or infected with malware, did you know that your website could also be orphaned or hijacked? So, what the heck is an orphaned website? Well, if you're not able to access your website because you don't have the username or password, you don't know where it's hosted or registered, or you've done nothing to ensure it's secure and up to date, odds are you've got an orphaned website. So, what's a hijacked website? And in fact, I actually often call this a webjacking, because if your webmaster is the only one who has access to your website, in other words, you don't, you can't back it up, you can't download the content from where it is so that it's mobile if you wanted to move it someplace else, and if your site is based on proprietary code that only your developer understands, that no other webmaster could ever actually make changes to that site, and if you can't make simple changes yourself, for example, if you're a restaurant and you want to update the menu and you just can't do that, you have to call someone else, your website's essentially been hijacked, because in this day and age, there's no reason why you can't be making simple changes to your website. That doesn't mean you have to know how to design it or lay it out, but you should have access, software that gives you access to do the simple things. Post a blog, that sort of thing. So, for many business owners, their website is, in fact, the hub of their business, and or the very least contributes to their bottom line. And now that's becoming more and more important. So, if you're a business owner or manage a not-for-profit, and you're reliant on your website for revenue or customer contact, then you might want to stick around and learn a little more from this video. My name's Duncan Moss, and I'm the creator of the Brand Power Builder. You can go to brandpowerbuilder.com to learn more. I've got a book there. You can actually download the Kindle version of this book for $1. This softcover is only $10. It's as cheap as I can make it on Amazon because they won't let me give it away. So really, the Kindle's there for $1. But anyway, all of the details with respect to this are there. And in fact, there's a little information video that really takes you through more of the details that I, can't get into today in a short video. But in the time that I've been in business now doing this kind of thing, essentially website rescue among other things, I've discovered that there are really 4 common mistakes that can end up in what I call a brand catastrophe. So what are they? Well, the first one is, of course, that you've got an orphaned website, that you don't even really know how to get at it. No password, no usernames, somebody else built it, set it up, and really you just have no control of that. And in fact, it's a brand asset, so it's sort of like not having the keys to your office. Or a hijacked website where really you've lost control. Somebody else is actually doing the work for you, and they've set it up in such a way that really you can't do anything yourself. And in this day and age, that really just shouldn't be the case. It's sort of like owning a car and you always need someone else to drive it for you. Really, with websites these days, just like a car, you don't need to know how it works or how to fix the motor to drive it. And you should be able to run and operate your website and have, function built in that's attracting new customers and letting you post new content without always having to go to a webmaster to do it. The other thing, the third thing that can be a problem is that you've fallen prey to some kind of online scam or advertising where you've bought something thinking that this was going to help you market your business online, or in fact a place where you could build your website, and it's turned out to be, a trap, like flypaper or something. You're stuck. You can't get out. Your content's in there. And there are some pretty big companies advertising, I won't name names, but you got to check, where, it's easy and fast to go build a website, $15-20 a month or something like that. And you can get in there and upload your pictures. It's easy to use. It's drop and drag, all that kind of stuff. But if you ever decided that you wanted to move that website, you can't get out. So, look for a backup or an export tool in any of those products. If you cannot back up or export the contents of the place that you're building your website, run. It's, you're going to get stuck. It's sort of like having a landlord that says, yeah, you can leave your apartment, we'll let you go, but we're keeping your furniture and your clothes, right? So and so there's a lot of those out there, unfortunately, and really that's the reason I'm producing this series of videos, is I'm tired of seeing people who have been stuck or scammed with a hijacked or orphaned website, and we end up spending way too much time just getting the control back, getting business owners in a position where their website and their online assets, their brand is actually theirs, in their name, in their control, something that they can run and manage on a daily basis without always having to pay someone else to do it. So, and then the fourth thing that really can be really problematic is that your online reputation has been ruined somehow. Bad Yelp reviews, Google Plus reviews, those kinds of things. And or that you've done or said something on social media or you've paid someone else that's done something that really doesn't reflect well on your business. So those are the four big problems. Again, orphaned, hijacked, scammed, or a reputation issue. So they can all be fixed. That's the good news. And needless to say, none of those things are any fun, but really they don't have to be your problems, and you don't really have to be spending any money to fix them. It's more about a strategy and a state of mind, which I'll talk more about. So, and all of that kind of stuff. If you've got a problem with your brand online, if you're not in control of your website or your social media marketing, it's going to impact your cash flow, because really that was the purpose of having a website, having a brand, developing online assets like a YouTube channel, that sort of thing. So I'm going to keep this quick today. I'm going to produce more of these. And again, you can always go to brandpowerbuilder.com to learn more. There's a longer video there that walks you through all of the details that are actually in the book, but you don't even really need to buy the book if you watch the video. But please visit, powerbrandbuilder.com brandpowerbuilder.com. Why do I get that wrong? To learn more about this, and I would love to help you out if you really need any assistance in this regard. So let's talk about the 9 things, the 9 steps you can take, that any business owner can take, or not-for-profit, so that you can build a power brand and achieve brand independence online. Again, there's more of this information on the website, so feel free to visit Brand Power Builder and brandpowerbuilder.com and download the video or watch the video. Here are the 9 things. Research your brand name to avoid regret later. So if you're establishing a business, you may actually have to register a trade name rather than use your actual business name, because somebody else already owns the .com or the .net or the .ca. For example, Bob's Auto Body. Go look. Somebody already owns bobsautobody.com. So even if you were to establish bobsautobody.ca, that's going to be a conflict later. You want a unique name on the internet that you own at least the .com and .ca. Registering a .net, .org version of a name just going to put you in competition with somebody else who actually may have paid to register that brand, and that's another issue. So, number 2 is to secure all of your online brand credentials. In other words, all of the usernames and passwords for things like your domain name, your hosting package, your YouTube channel, Facebook, all of that should be kept with your mortgage. Those are really important things. Those are the keys to your brand online, like the keys to your house. Number 3 is choose to be hosted, not taken hostage. So in other words, where you host your website is really critically important. You can go the cheap route and end up in a place where you're not getting any tech support, where you're frankly quite possibly paying too much for more hosting than you need. So you really need to do some homework there, and I'll talk more about that later, in future videos. But where your website lives can have a big impact on your ability to control your brand. Number 4 is backing up all of your online assets, that the entire programming package, the software and the content, you should be able to zip it all up and download it from wherever it lives, which means it should be mobile. If you don't like your current online hosting company, you should be set up in such a way that you can actually leave, go shopping, and move to another place if you want to. Number 5 is to adopt brand best practices. Again, that's for another video, but there are things that you can do to make sure that your brand is protected and that the things that you're doing online are in the best interest of your brand and your company. A simple thing is basically, being positive online as opposed to being negative. And if you're in social media, just being careful not to, be overly critical of other people's views or opinions. That in fact, you've got to, one of these best practices is that you've actually got a strategy, that you've decided how you're going to conduct yourself online. Without that, without your own kind of guide to what should be said and what shouldn't be said, it's difficult to hire other people to start posting or controlling your messaging online because they don't have guidelines or markers. And so, again, they can get off track or be saying and doing things that are really not, in the best, image or are not best reflecting your view. So the other, number 6, is to employ CMS software to achieve brand independence. So a content management software. So things like WordPress, Drupal, these are, kind of Lego block style design systems that make the business of managing and creating your website and your brand a whole lot easier than some kind of custom build. Most people cannot afford custom built products or websites online. It's sort of like having a custom built car. You can only imagine the cost if it breaks down. So number 7 is to avoid tyranny and demand transparency and training. A lot of T's there, a lot of alliteration. But the point is that if somebody's going to do something else for you, build your website, do some social media marketing, do something with respect to YouTube, that sort of thing, you want reports. You should be asking for data on exactly what's the return on investment here. What am I getting by paying someone else to do things for you? And they should be providing some training so that if you need to get in there and make a change, upload your own video, post a blog, change your restaurant menu items, that you at least know the basics, that you can in fact drive your brand. You don't need to know how to fix the motor to drive, right? You don't need to be a programmer or webmaster these days to be able to make small changes to a website or upload a video. So if somebody is, if whoever you're involved in is not willing to provide training on how the tools that they're using to promote your brand, again, time to moonwalk out of the room, find somebody else. And the other thing that should be there is some kind of guarantee. If they can't guarantee their work, time to walk away as well. Number 8, register your business brand and trade name. So in sort of establishing or buying a domain online, like Bob's Auto Body, you want to be registering that with your local authorities, the Joint Stock Registry or something like that, so that, and in fact the trade names, you may need to register a trademark so that no one else is actually encroaching on that brand by using the .net or the .org or some other version of the name on YouTube or Facebook, because again, that's going to create confusion. Number 9, the last thing, is to build and grow a brand platform. Again, I'll talk about this in later videos, and you can find about it again in the book and on my website. Watch the video. But a brand platform is really a collection of assets that are working together like a well-oiled machine to get your message out there, to promote your brand, and to help you attract new subscribers, clients, customers, and of course sell your product or service. So those are the 9 items. You can find this again on brandpowerbuilder.com. Watch the video. Let me know what you think. Comment. I will read and respond to all of the comments, so feel free. I'm very interested to know if this is really a problem for you or not, or if it's something that you've even considered. So I'll be back again with more of these tomorrow, in fact, with more detail on each of these items and other things, particularly with respect to the 7 signs on how brands the 7 signs that will tell you whether your brand needs serious attention. So it's like a little questionnaire, and how you rank these in these 7 areas will tell you whether the alarm bells are ringing or not, and that you should be taking a good second look at what the heck has happened to your brand online. Anyway, I'm Duncan Moss, and please leave a comment, share this with your friends, visit brandpowerbuilder.com to learn more, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Bye for now.